Let's take you back to the Free State now and assess the state of one of those municipalities in that province. Dozens of residents living in Kroonstad are queuing outside the Moqhaka local municipal offices there, trying to register for RDP houses. Now, this project started on the 7th of June, but there are still very long queues, with many hopeful that the municipality will be able to allocate the homes that they are seeking and have been for a long time. That's where we find our reporter, Mbali Thethani, who joins us now. Mbali, good morning to you. The understanding is that you are about to ask some very pointed questions to the officials about the situation that holds outside that municipality. What are the officials saying? How do they explain the situation that's happening outside their offices?
Well, of course, Pule, you would have seen some of our coverage from this morning. We did make our way to the Kroonstad municipality, or rather the Moqhaka local municipality. And of course, the area here being Kroonstad, where some of the residents have been facing a number of, service delivery challenges. Just earlier on, we spoke to some residents in Constantia who are complaining about a sewage problem. And they say that that sewage problem spans over 2 decades. And just a few hours ago, we also spoke to some of the local residents who are trying to register for RDP houses, and I'm told that that system started at around the 7th of June. But you still see many of those residents still stationed outside the local offices, trying to at least get a roof over their heads. But just to give us a little more insights, when it comes to that Auditor General report, Goli, we are now joined by the local municipal acting manager, and as well as the mayor himself. I'm just going to start with you, Mzwakhe, who is indeed the acting municipal manager. Mzwakhe, we have seen a number of problems coming into this municipality, and one being an area that we went to a bit earlier on, that is Constantia, where there is like raw sewage coming out of people's backyards onto the streets, filtered onto the streets. And one would say that this has been happening for quite some time. I've even been able to track down various ministers who've been able to come and visit this specific area when it comes to the challenges that you face. You have also not been able to get a clean audit from the Auditor General. If you can just tell us, what are the challenges facing this community, and why have you not been able to get a clean audit?
Thank you very much, Mbali, and your viewers. I must indicate first that I'm almost 12 days into the office as acting municipal manager, and all is not doom and gloom at Moqhaka. Moqhaka has got the potential of becoming one of the best municipalities, not only in the Free State, but in the country. Well, on my arrival here, I did some visit to various units, including your Stensres, and I'm still going to visit Phil Jones Road. But the problem here is generic, and I have indicated to all my managers that the only problems that are facing Moqhaka is sewer and sanitation. And indeed, today you are here questioning or querying the very same issues that I've actually picked up: sewer and sanitation, water and sanitation. I mean to say. Let me say that initially there were problems because there were no tools of trade. People did not have bakkies to attend to sewer spillages, water spillages.
20 years.
No, I will come to that. I will come to that. But what we have done now is we have just purchased 4 vehicles on my arrival. Last week we have purchased 4 vehicles. We are taking delivery on Wednesday of the long wheelbase bakkies, solely and specifically for sewer and sanitation department, so that we can increase the pace of. I'm intending to buy 4 vehicles every month, but I still have to go and do some aggressive revenue collection.
But surely a bakkie can't be the reason that a community like Constantia, 20 years later, still faces the same issue.
That is why I was saying I was coming to that. The one that is 20 years problem is the sewer spillage at Macy Street. I think that is the area. What we have done there is that I've just confirmed with my technical director. There was, an effort on the part of the municipality to get some money from National Department. They have since granted us 5.5 million for that particular project. The designs are ready now. Since last week, fortunately, since last week, the designs are ready. Then we will be going out on tender in the next 21 days. So we are hoping that at the end of August, the contractor will be on site. The money is there. We just have to go out on contract, and that's it.
In the same community, there are very long queues coming out of the local municipal offices. Many people trying to register for RDP houses. Some are even sleeping there. We are told some go as early as 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. It's very cold. It is in the middle of winter. But they are hopeful that they might be able to get an RDP house. But they say that that process has been running since the 7th, and the initial list where they registered seems to have disappeared. Are you aware of that problem in Mankweng?
Mbali, we are aware of all the complaints that the communities have actually raised with us. The MEC for Local Government and Women Settlement, Tate Moqhaka Dukwana, was here 2 weeks ago to try to give us, some sort of direction. And also on Friday last week, we held a meeting with the provincial head of Women Settlement together with his team. We are in the process of processing those particular applicants, but the problem was just to prioritize the elderlies and family that are being led by your offense, etc., etc. But we are working hard on it, and there should be some movement in the next few weeks.
I'm going to bring in Koli now, the mayor of Moqhaka municipality. Mayor, looking at the results coming out from that Auditor General report, one would say that it is quite a disappointing report coming out from the Auditor General.
Yeah, no, good morning, Mbali and your viewers. That one is a most unfortunate report, and it is the second one in succession. But I must mention that in as much as we know, it is not a long time ago that we have been in office in the administration. Hence, some of the things that inform the report are matters that has been picked in the era of the previous administration. Asked is to study sufficiently the report, get to know what informed the decision of the AG, and then plan on how best you can remedy that situation so that we don't get such any time again in the future. But I also have to mention that given that the AG has now been given a better bite on how to remedy the situation in terms of putting the blame directly to those who are responsible and those having to pay the price. We truly support that view that the Auditor General is now going to be able to pay to those who have informed that kind of a sad situation, and then including us also as the institution. In the areas that we'll find that some of us are liable for some of the misdemeanors, indeed we'll have to see to it that they have to face their own repercussions of their own deeds.
How can you assure the residents of Moqhaka municipality that this time around, this financial year, that all will be above board and the service delivery will indeed be addressed?
Yeah, there are different elements which may inform the lack of service delivery. As our acting MM has mentioned, one of those is for us not having the yellow or the white fleet, which is a matter that is before court as we speak. But some of the things that we have to look at are the real possibilities, just to go deeper and check what may be the causes of these things, deal with those things, and then come up with a progressive position for all our people.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, that is the mayor of Moqhaka, local municipality there, Koli. Just earlier on, you heard from the acting municipal manager talking about, one of the challenges of that community being that there were no bakkies to try and, resolve the issue facing that Constantia area when it comes to sewage spilling onto the streets and spilling into the homes of